So,
Yeah. அது போறோம். No, participants வரவங்க அங்கேயும்
okay, please on a mobile silent mode the board. No disturbance. Thank you. We are ready. Yeah, I can start the program. We are just chilling. Okay. But I don't think even I cannot join. It's asking for start the meeting. Start the meeting. That link is not working. No, he's on.
Yeah.
He's online. Okay. Doctor, can you hear us?
Of course I can.
Okay, doctor. So we can now. I'm Dr. Muniz. We can start the program.
Good morning, Dr. Munir, and good morning, DXN Sri Lanka.
Good morning, DXN.
And yes, I am Dr. Savera. I'm from India, Pune, and today is my first webinar with the DXN team of Sri Lanka. In brief about me, I am an Ayurveda physician, a psychotherapist and a counselor, and one of the amazing companies that I happen to, meet is DXN, which is changing the world in terms of nutrition and health and wellness. And the topic today I've taken is why DXN products. And as this little girl on screen says, there are many products out in the market. And why should we have another range of products? So let's begin our webinar. And I hope everybody is set. So if you give me a thumbs up, if you say, Dr. Munir, if you say it's okay, I can start.
Yeah, you can. Carry on, please.
Okay, great, great. So we know that today's lifestyle is a little bit weird. We have been feeding ourselves a lot of junk food. This food, basically, though tasty for the tongue, is very acidic for the body. And in the process of the webinar, you'll realize what I mean by acidic body and what acids are. When it comes up to drinks, we always party with alcoholic beverages and wines. These also contribute in making our environment inside acidic. The global pandemic that we call obesity is just a very difficult thing to tackle today. No gyms alone can handle this. No diet alone can handle this. It's one of the leading causes of many of the diseases and deaths in the world. Our youth and ourselves are hooked to many addictions. Though they give you temporary satisfaction, enlightenment, it actually also harms you, not by the product itself, but also by the acidic environment that it creates inside your body. We all want to start a family. We want to have healthy children. But are our couples today really feeling safe? Are their bodies capable of delivering healthy children? Even pregnant women, even pregnant ladies are struggling with nutrition. Their babies inside are not being fed with the optimum nutrition that is required. And the pregnant mother has to travel to doctors just to check her blood hemoglobin levels to see if she is meeting the requirements, adequate enough for the child's growth. Children are not able to meet their developmental milestones. They're not able to achieve their academic goals as expected. Again, a lot of supplements in the market that say that they can boost this are probably failing because they haven't understood the real physiology in which the body needs to be handled. Teenagers are probably the ones that go through a lot of stress because there's a biological change happening because the hormonal turbulence inside their bodies and also the stress of life that they have just started to begin with. All this creates an acidic environment which is the root cause of future diseases. Youth today is stressed for its financial goals that it needs to meet, for its survival, for its basic need of even bringing up a family and meeting the goals of the need and luxuries. This stress has been the root cause of so many diseases that many youth have not even actually ventured into old age and have passed before that. The ones who luckily crossed the age of 45 and 50 are now tackling most of the time with physicians and doctors dealing with physical ailments, from simple things like joint pains to cardiac problems, which seem to be so complicated. These aged men have to be dependent on so many complicated medical procedures and techniques to just recover and maintain their health. The source of all this acidic body is basically the food we eat. If you look at it, the food that we eat is basically the source of the acidic environment, especially if you list the topmost acidic food is sugar. And our population today, we have been consuming probably much more sugar than all of our generations before ever did. This highly toxic sugar intake is one of the major causes of major diseases that we are prevailing right now. Second, probably very unnoticed, but today the world is trying to talk about it, is gluten. And gluten allergy, probably 99% of the population is allergic to gluten without even understanding whether or showing symptoms. Like simple skin pigmentation to constipation are the results of this gluten because it causes inflammation inside your colon. We are taking junk food, packed food, and these are loaded with additives. These chemical additives actually, again, are the source of making your environment inside acidic. People who have been diagnosed with a disease and are on medicines, these chemical compounds that you pop in every day are the source of making your environment inside acidic. Long-term use of chronic medicine use, as we say, can be one of the major reasons for you to be a primary candidate for diseases like cancer. Pollution. The air is polluted not only by the companies that are involved in manufacturing, but also vehicles that are used for transport by everyone. So these again have been one of the sources of our environment inside also becoming acidic. Sun, with the depletion of the ozone layers, the radiation of the sun is one of the reasons that our body is now getting more exposed to the heat and the complications of radiations, making our body more acidic. Recurrent infections. When your immunity goes down and you're prone for recurrent infections, your body actually produces acidic-like substances which are used to fight these bacteria and viruses. If you're continuously or repeatedly getting infections, your body needs actually doing that again and again, producing acidic substances. That is one of the reasons acidic bodies are more prone for more infections and again become the base of diseases like cancer. We all know that we are now in a zone of radiations, radiation towers that emit telephone signals to television signals. We are completely cooked up in the oven of these radiations, and that's the reason that our bodies are again becoming acidic. Cosmetics that we apply on the skin. And for the people who don't know, skin is one of the feeding organs that your body feeds through. So when you apply something on the skin, it's getting direct access into your bloodstream. So when we apply toxic chemicals into your skin, they go directly into your bloodstream and pass into your different organs. Again, one of the major sources of your body becoming acidic. And what to say about personal care products? Our markets and supermarkets are loaded with many of those chemical derivatives which we use daily for our personal hygiene. Now, that is another source of our body becoming toxic and acidic. Research says that today the causes of cancer, the top causes of cancer include diet. Now here you have to pay special attention that diet is one of the major reasons for you getting cancer, along with infection, your occupation, your habits of eating and drinking. So these basically actually form the base on which your body becomes acidic. People say that cancer is caused not because just of an environmental cause or hereditary reasons, but because there are mutations in genes. Now, if there is a genetic mutation, there should be a cause that triggers it. If you look at a simple, the structure of a gene, the arrangement of the genes changes because it is exposed to environment that causes this change. If the environment is harsh and acidic, the cells that actually float in this environment actually are exposed to this, you can say, kind of harshness, and they go through a change. And this change in the genetic structure is mutation. And when these mutations take place, the basic function of the cells change, and they now become kind of immortal and keep on growing. And that is one of the reasons that cancer is difficult to tackle, because it is at the genetic level. Recent studies have shown the way nutraceutical markets have been competing and picking up alongside with pharmaceutical markets. That shows that people believe that not medicine alone can help us win over these variety of diseases that we are coming across. And that's where DXN, as a nutraceutical company, can just be supportive enough to the pharmaceutical industry and the doctors and to the mass as a whole to help them to maintain their health and wellness. Now the key to having an acidic body and to getting free yourself from the acidic body is a simple thing called detoxification. I've done my Ayurveda, and in Ayurveda, the basic science that talks about wellness says that only a clean body can harbor a pure mind. And so even diseases, if they need to be treated, the first step towards that starts with detoxification, is cleaning up your body. Now, when I say detoxification, medically, toxin is something that harms your body. Now, when I say toxin, there has been a lot of debates whether what is toxin. So, in simple words, toxin is a product by the body, which is a byproduct, which needs to go out of the body, but because of some reason is retained inside the body. Like for example, if I breathe, I take in oxygen and my cells use the oxygen and leave carbon dioxide, which is again released out of my system through the lungs. Now, if I prevent the flow of carbon dioxide out of my body, and by closing my nostrils, I feel suffocated, not because of the lack of oxygen going inside, because of the accumulation of carbon dioxide, which starts making my body more acidic. And this can be very toxic. And if I keep on doing that for a longer time, it could even result in a death. Now, this is one of the byproducts, carbon dioxide. Our cells metabolize and produce many byproducts for which they have to be channelized through our excretory organs. Basically, your kidneys, your alimentary canal, and your skin. And if we can use these channels and help the body to clean better, it will really help. Today, the world is waking up to this particular concept called detox, because they feel that's the base or platform on which health can be really maintained. So who needs a detox? I think everyone needs. And that's why I believe that detoxification is the key to health. Now let me take you back to the oldest civilization, the Indus civilization, where we know about where people came together to live as a community. When I say civilization, where people come together, they are now organizing themselves. And one of the amazing things that was found in Mohenjo-daro was the sewage system that they developed, because people were staying together while they were, eating and living together. They were excreting too, and they had to have a channel through which these, the whole city had to be cleaned. And so there were a very good organized sewage system. Similar instances of a very organized sewage system was found in Pella, an ancient city in Macedonia, Greece. Now you would be thinking, why am I trying to give you an example of human civilization and the sewage system? Is because if you look at it, we have organized ourselves much better now. And the more organized the sewage system is of a particular city or a country, the more clean that country is. And the more cleaner the country, the more better the country is in terms of health and wellness. Now, when you look at our body is nothing but a conglomeration of millions of cells that live together, and they too excrete every second. And this excretion needs to be channelized out of the body system. Now, body has different systems or channels through which this is done. The lymphatic system of the body is probably the most unnoticed and least talked about. But this is kind of the drainage system of the body. It actually helps in cleaning up your body tissues. Now, when you look at this, the basic function of a lymphatic system is to transport clean fluids back to the blood, drain excess fluid from the tissues, remove the debris from the cells of the body, and transport fat from the digestive system. Now, that is one system, and even in Ayurveda we believed that everything flows through channels, and we call this as trotasa, or channels. Now, we have different systems in our body, and every system is nothing but an organized structure of the particular types of cells to do a particular type of function. So if there is a blockage in any of this system, the flow is hampered, and that could be one of the reasons of the diseases of that system. So, for example, if there is a block in the urinary system, we have a problem with the urinary system, and that again can trigger the other systems to get affected. It's like cookies started crumbling if one of them starts falling. Now, what's the best time to detox? It's said that the best time to detox is to identify your own problems first. If you start having any kind of blocks, confusion, that is the first subtle symptom that there is something wrong in your body, something is blocking your systems, even the mind. When there is a lot of stress in your body, stress basically causes contraction, and this again is a result of many of the blockages in your body. So if you are having stress, it's the time for going through a detox. When it comes up to working out a lot, feeling fatigued, tired, sleepy during the times when you need to be awake, that's the time that something is going wrong. The whole biological clock is getting disturbed. That's another time that you have to realize that it is time to go for a detox. Skin is nothing but the mirror of what is happening inside your body. And as we say, we are nothing but two parts of skin in which all the organs are kept, the outer skin and the inner skin. And outer skin is a reflection of the inner skin. So if you are having pigmentations or skin complaints, it's the very prompt time that you need to go through a detox. sleeping patterns, when like insomnia, when you need to sleep, if you're not feeling sleepy, that's again a trigger, and it should be said that this is the time that you need to go through a detox. Constipation, probably one of the most easiest way to identify that your largest system, your GI system, the gastrointestinal system, is getting blocked. And this is the best time, because if the gastrointestinal system gets blocked, it's triggering a block in major systems of your body. And so this is the best time that you need to find a right way in which you go through a detox. Skin, when it starts, you start seeing that your sweat is having a foul smell and your body is giving out a particular odor always, again, this is a time you accelerate your cleansing mechanism by going through a detox. Weight gain. When the systems are blocked, you tend to gain weight. So, when you see your scale going up, please be sure that it is the right time that you opt for a good natural detox. Body aches, pains are a significant reason and the base on which you decide that it's time to go for a detox. If you're seeing a doctor who has prescribed you pills and you're taking or popping pills every day for a particular condition, could be diabetes, could be arthritis or any condition, be sure that these pills, when they go into your body, they are actually chemicals that are triggering acidic environment in your body. And hence, parallel to taking your medicine, an adjuvant kind of therapy would require you to take detox too, and that also a natural one. So, to summarize, the warning signs that indicate that your body is overloaded with toxins that the body itself has produced is muscle pains and spasms, skin problems, weight gain, body temperature going high a little bit, constant fatigue, mood swings, headaches and migraines, bad breath, body odor, constipation, and insomnia. Now, this theory of how do I detoxify myself comes from this 5,000-year-old science of Ayurveda. And it says you can detoxify yourself in two ways. One is through neutralization, and the second is through elimination. That means neutralization of the toxins, and the second is elimination of the toxins. Now, we all have studied in school that an acid and a base, when they are reacted together, mixed together, we get a neutral substance, and that is measured on a pH scale. So, water is said to be the most neutral substance, and many of the acids, they fall in the pH scale less than 7, and base above 7. Now, when you look at the way our body eliminates toxin is when you take something that is acidic, when you know your body has become acidic, which should not be, and you take alkaline diet, alkaline food, alkaline supplements, you are actually doing a neutralization reaction in your body. This will trigger this process of neutralization to happen faster, and you'll see the whole process will result in more neutral substance, fluid being formed, and that's when you'll realize you will urinate more. And hence, when you take alkaline food, the first way in which you know that my body is neutralizing is when you start seeing that my elimination of fluids is now increased. So we call it a kind of a diuretic, natural diuretic action. And that's one of the best things to find out that the detoxification in my body is happening. Second way to detoxify is through exercising. So when you exercise, you're actually squeezing your body so that the toxins are released out of your skin through sweat. That's a good thing. So that's why we always advise people who have these symptoms to exercise daily. That's one of the best ways to detoxify yourself. Now, when it comes up to elimination, let me go back here. Okay, so one was neutralization. The elimination process is when we have to trigger the body to flush or release these toxins out of the body. So using some good herbs, it's said in Ayurveda, we can bring the toxins from the organs to the alimentary canal, from which it can be eliminated out of the body. So neutralization and elimination are the two ways in which you can detoxify yourself. Now the choice is whether we go the natural way or the artificial way. Some things we know are very tempting and easy to follow. One and the other things are natural, a little difficult to obtain, but they are more safe. And I think as a human race, we need to go back to the basic roots of going into the lap of Mother Nature and let Mother Nature nurse and heal us. And that's where the difference lies between pharmaceutical companies that manufacture supplements that we all know that doctors prescribe, along with different antibiotics and antivirals. A company like DXN, which actually grows these natural food supplements and herbs that are then converted into easy to take form and provided to you. So it's the natural choice that we have to take. Hope is always there in darkness, and that's what I call sunrise. And that sunrise in today's disease world is DXN. Because DXN is probably on a mission, not only health, wealth, but through health and wealth to provide happiness, because that's the ultimate experience that we all want to experience. And to give you a brief of what DXN is, I'm going to list a number of herbs that DXN uses in various products. So you get a big idea, because DXN is not limited to only Malaysia or India or Sri Lanka. It's now spread over more than 180 countries with almost around 11 million people who have tried and tested these products, and who are now actually, with a very simple concept of word of mouth, spreading the goodness across. That has helped DXN from being a small company that started in 1993 to now in the top almost 22 or 23rd company in the world in direct selling. And that is the endorsement that the products have driven this company to the scale that it has reached now. So a few of the herbs that we use: maca, ginseng, noni, and this is one thing that we'll study today, Morinda citrifolia as it's called, a tropical wonder fruit. Then coffee. Coffee is one of DXN's most amazing products that has really got a lot of acclaim across the globe. Cocoa. Cocoa is another very good healthy food for the children especially, but not limited to children, even adults. Soya. We have tea, chai. Then we have Prunella vulgaris, also known as self-heal, mandarin, mint, Chinese licorice, celery, Plantago psyllium, ginkgo biloba, and these people creeping on their feet are gathering an amazing mushroom called as Cordyceps sinensis. It's another wonder mushroom that we'll study some other day. Lion's mane, another amazing mushroom, very good for your neurological disorders. Again, some other day we'll study. And the king itself, Ganoderma lucidum, also known as Rishi or Lingzi. And we will try to study what makes this mushroom such an amazing food supplement that can help one prevent himself from the onset of diseases like cancer. Let go of diabetes, blood pressure. These are very small in terms of a disease like cancer. So what is it in it for me that I need to start taking Ganoderma lucidum? Research papers are plenty. And if you are a technical guy like a doctor, a physician, a scientist, and you want more information on it, I think so you can Google on pubmed.gov. A lot of studies are available of Ganoderma lucidum, Rishi, and various diseases that it's been used on and researched on. But for the simple people, it's very important to understand that Ganoderma was termed as the king of herbs in the Materia Medica of the Chinese pharmacopoeia, and written by Shenong. And this basically talks about Ganoderma being the king. Now, you don't call something just a king. It needs to have the endorsement by the king himself. And there are a lot of stories around it, but as it is said that it was the food of the royal families, because it was said that when you take Ganoderma, you become immortal, and you'll keep on live on and live on and live on, never to die. And this actually triggered the interest of the royal family, who made it sure that they consumed it every day to be disease-free, stress-free, so that they could realize themselves and continue their journey from this earth and beyond. So, to summarize and to make things very simple for you all, even amateur people, because as Einstein says, if your science is, or if your knowledge is shared in an easy to form that a 5-year-old child can understand, that is good science. But if it becomes too complicated for a 5-year-old to understand, then you're wrong somewhere. So I want to try to make this as simple as it can by giving you 3 properties of Ganoderma that make it a potent detoxifier, and the choice that you can make, that you can take Ganoderma every day. 1, it's an immunomodulatory herb. Now, when I say immunomodulatory, we need to understand there are 2 things. Protects you from the inside and protects you from the outside, just like the police and the army. In every country, we have these 2 forces that help prevent the enemies that attacked you from the outside, and the police that maintain law and order from the inside. Now, when you took out the look at that body, when you look at the body, there are possibilities that when you are exposed to so many bacteria, fungus, and viruses that want to just attack you. But if your immune system is strong as an army, it can just combat those infections. And probably even now, when we are around so many bacteria and fungus and viruses, our immune system is just marching around with its cells that are protecting us from getting infected. But this is one part of it, you know. Like armies don't go and fight every day. The same thing. Our immune system is not continuously trying to go into war. But there is something that really triggers the immune system internally. That's the police. When these cells have to maintain law and order within the system itself. And we are a complex system with so many cells doing different functions, and a lot of exchange of nutrients and the hormones that go, chemical communication, neurological communication that happens through your body. The immune system has always had to be active, so there is no problem within the system. And one of the major reasons that we are suffering from these new diseases, set of diseases called as autoimmune disorders, is because the immune system's job as a police force is now decreasing, and internal conflict within the cells itself is causing a lot of damage within our own body. And trust me, when there's a problem within the country, within 2 ethnic groups or 2 different thought people, it's very difficult to maintain law and order and calmness. And that's where Ganoderma is said to be one of those spiritual herbs which, when consumed, builds up your immune system so that it can protect you from the outside enemies, but also help you to maintain law and order, discipline, love and care within your systems itself, and hence prevent you from many of those autoimmune disorders for which modern science has absolutely no answer for. Now, the second point is Ganoderma is rich as an antioxidant. Now, the best way to find out if any of the food supplements or food is rich in antioxidant is to figure out what color it is. The richer the color it has, the richer it is in antioxidants. And if you look at coffee, tea, they all are bright colored. When you actually boil them up, brew them up, you see that definitely signifies that it is rich in antioxidants. And so is Ganoderma. Ganoderma is very, very rich in antioxidant. It is also known as the red reishi mushroom, bright, shiny, red colored mushroom. And this shows that if I have to explain antioxidant, you need to understand what is oxidation. If I cut an apple, after some time you see that apple that was fresh was now, after being cut, it starts to decay and get destroyed, self-destruction kind of thing. This is because of a process called oxidation. Now this is like a chain reaction. Once it starts, it's very difficult to stop. And the reason behind this is a very important element called as oxygen itself. Now, if you look at what we breathe is oxygen. That means every cell of ours is also exposed to oxygen, and we also, that means every cell of ours also goes through oxidative stress. Now, the only way we can stop or slow down this process is to handle it the same way that we would do if we had a kind of dominoes that are placed one after the other in a sequence, and when you drop one, you see all of them falling down. And the best way is to just pick a few on the way out so that you break the reaction. When you take an antioxidant, this antioxidant acts like the ingredient that takes away the free radicals out so that they stop the continuous chain reaction that causes the damage of other cells. And as I said, any bright colored fruit, vegetable is rich in antioxidants. So tea, coffee, they are rich in antioxidants, and you'll find that when you take a sip of coffee or a tea, when you're really tired, you feel more relaxed, as if something has stopped inside you. Same is with Ganoderma. Ganoderma is rich in antioxidant, and when you take Ganoderma, you actually are doing something that is called as anti-aging, slowing down the process of cell death, and that's an amazing thing to do. Okay, so taking it every day really helps. Now, third property of Ganoderma is called as nutritive. And when I say nutritive, it's a little different than nutrition. And because if I have to say nutrition, I would use spirulina as nutrition. But Ganoderma is nutritive. And when I say nutritive, it means helps in clearing the pathways for nutrition to reach the cells and toxins from the cells to reach the excretory organs. It's kind of a bunch of policemen on bikes escorting a VIP to an event. When a great political leader has to attend a function, we'll always see he's escorted by these bunch of policemen in the front who clear up the pathways so that the VIP can travel very easily in and out through the traffic. If you look at food today, what you eat is kind of a VIP for the cells. They are waiting for good food to come to them and the nutrition to reach them. But if the pathways are blocked, most of the time even eating good food and even taking good medicine or supplements does not help you. But when you take Ganoderma, Ganoderma is so humble, like a servant. It goes up cleaning up the whole pathways and improves microcirculation. This in turn makes whatever you eat reach every cell, and also because it cleans up the pathways, it also helps the toxins that are released by the cells to be eliminated out of your excretory organs. And this is amazing because when the channels are open, the flow of energy, that's in Oriental science we call the chi, or the life force as we call, it basically starts working. And when these movements start happening, you experience health. And so Ganoderma, basically with its three properties: one, immunomodulatory; second, antioxidant; and third, nutritive, becomes your choice of a supplement that you take every day. So eat good food, preferably alkaline food, and you combine it with Ganoderma, and you can actually have a good detoxification done. And you can do this at least 3 months in a year if you cannot do it every day. but it's always advised 3 to 6 months is a good time for everyone to go through a hardcore detoxification with Ganoderma, because in simple terms, wellness or getting yourself disease free is saying that nutrition reaches to the cell and the toxins reach a way out from the cells. And if you are able to do this, trust me, whatever disease you have, whatever condition you are in, the body is such an amazing machinery. It can actually reverse itself very, very fast. It only needs support from you and what you give it. Okay, so Ganoderma, technically, if we go to find out, it's rich in polysaccharides, it's rich in triterpenes, and these are the active ingredients that actually help the cell, process of you can say the cleansing process. So technical things, as I said, you can go Google out. There's a lot of information available. The second question is, yes, I agree, Ganoderma is great as a detoxifier, and why don't all pharma companies go out, just selling these amazing supplements? Why should we go with DXN Ganoderma, and what makes it so exclusive that I need to buy only DXN Ganoderma? I can find a Ganoderma in the wild too, and why not consume that? Now, this is a good question to ask. Now, this is a wild Ganoderma that you see on screen. Medical science, and not only medical science, there are a lot of myths and beliefs that one should never consume a mushroom because mushrooms are very toxic. And that is true, even with the mushroom that you see on screen right now. We don't know what it is feeding on. It's feeding on any toxic material, could be heavy metals in the soil, could be a poisonous snake that it is trying to eat, because mushrooms are saprophytes. These fungi, they basically eat everything on the way, and whatever they consume is what comes out in the fruiting body of the mushroom. And so mushrooms need to be taken very, very carefully. If you don't know the origin of where mushrooms come from, it's an advice that never ever take the mushroom if you don't know where it comes from, because taking a wild mushroom could be very, very toxic. And hence, when you Google Ganoderma and side effects of Ganoderma, you'll find that they talk about liver toxicity, kidney toxicity. It's because these are wild-grown mushrooms of Ganoderma, and they definitely could be very damaging to your health. With DXN, we have the world's largest organic Ganoderma farm. And in this farm, the whole process of cultivation is done under controlled measures. The base on which this Ganoderma is cultivated is also sterilized. No other strains of any other fungi that could harbor along with it are kept, because it goes through the whole strict process of sterilization. The environment is completely organic, no chemicals are used, and the way, if you see, Ganoderma is growing is the same way that it actually grows in the wild, the good ones. It was said that having the Ganoderma found growing on a tree, in this particular manner, that's the vertical the horizontal manner, is the best variety, and that's how you see Ganoderma being grown in the DXN farm. And the whole process is again controlled. Every batch is measured, and that's a completely organic Ganoderma that you get from DXN, which is very, very safe to consume. It's been last 23, probably 24 now years that DXN has been supplying the best Ganoderma to the world through its distributors, and they have all done an amazing job. Now, so DXN Ganoderma is basically divided into two. One, the fruiting body, that's RG, Rishi Gano as we call that. It supports the body in detoxification. That means this is the primary organ that helps in cleansing, the elimination of the toxin. It eliminates your toxins out of the body. So when you take RG, you will realize that you have an increased urine output, because RG basically is now flushing your body out of toxins. GL supports the body in balancing. This is the first part of detoxification, as I said, neutralization. So the acid that were in the body, because of the alkaline nature of GL, it not only provides nutrients but also actually helps in neutralizing the toxins and maintaining the balance within your body. So cleansing or detoxification with RG and GL together is more effective. Hence, we always recommend to take RG and GL in pairs. If you take it in pairs, they are more effective because you're going through a complete detoxification process of neutralization as well as elimination. What's the good dosage? Everybody's dosage could vary according to the condition they are in health-wise, as well as your height, weight, your gender. But the basic fact in which you can identify the best dose for you is that after you pass your urine and empty your bladder, you need to take a particular dose of RG and GL and wait for with a lot of water. Probably you drink it with a lot of water, and then wait for at least 20 to 30 minutes and see if you have a good flush again. Now, if you have a good flush within 30 minutes, prior to which you have already gone through the process of emptying your bowels, your urinary bladder, you know for sure that this extra cleansing has been done by RG and GL, and that becomes a good dose for you. Technically, to make things simple, for normal adults, 6 pairs a day with normal health condition is always good to be taken every day. For chronic illnesses, when I say chronic, means you're on any medicine, you're taking some medicines every day. You're not in the hospital, but you're taking medicines every day. That is chronic illness. That means 15 pairs is a good dose for you. And critical conditions, I mean you're bedridden, you're in the hospital, you're not able to do your normal activities of daily living, that's where you go with a higher dose, which is commonly known as mega dose. That's 30 pairs and more. So, terminal cancer and all these people, the best chance is to alkalize their body as soon as possible. So we go with higher dosage. So this is the dosage criteria of RGGL. Along with Ganoderma, DXN's another amazing supplement is spirulina. And when I say spirulina, it's also known as nature's superfood. We all know what the World Food Conference in 1974 of the UN declared spirulina as the best food for the future. But I'm sure a very few of them know about this little story with the flamingos. Now, these amazing birds, which are migratory birds, they travel across the regions, in search of food. They are migratory birds, and when the cold season starts up happening in the northern hemisphere, they travel back to the equatorial region in search of food. And anybody would guess, what would be the primary food of a bird like this who travels would be to search out for lakes where they get good fish, and that's what they do. But there's an amazing thing found out, that when they travel, they lose their pigment and they are white in color. And after starting to feed a particular few days, there's around a week or 15 days, they start gaining this pigment back. And this was really interesting, because their choice of food was not the fish. They had adapted their beaks to act like a sieve to sieve off the algae, the blue-green algae called spirulina, and consume it. And they kept on consuming the whole day. Now here, for those people who still believe that, the dosage of spirulina, how much it should be, you look at this bird, it keeps on eating the whole day, okay? So that shows it is very, very safe. Now, people who observe this, because our ancestors were very, very keen in observing what nature had as secrets, and when they observed that these birds were feeding on this and gaining their pigmentation, they're getting their strength, and they were surviving on it, they thought that probably along with the fish, this algae also has a lot of nutritional value. And that's how this blue-green algae called spirulina became a part of cultivation. People started now collecting it, and then not only collecting it, but then drying it up and selling in the market as food along with other foods. Now here you look at the picture of an African tribe that is selling the spirulina cakes. They are dried up in the sun, and you look at them, they are probably taking it in terms of kilos. Every family would be eating in kilos. what triggered the world interest in this amazing food supplement was that the people in this area, even though they lacked good food, feeding on spirulina gave them all the nutritional benefits. And that really amazed them, because their basic diet, it said, was only spirulina with little oil or little spice and salt into it, and that was the food that they ate. And if a single food could give them so much energy, then there was something really amazing hidden inside this blue-green algae. This triggered the world interest in around the 1970s, and people started now commercializing it and getting into plantations and growing it. Now, looking at spirulina is technically a vegan source of complete protein. Almost 70% of the weight of spirulina is protein. Proteins are the building block of your body, and getting proteins from vegetable source is just amazing, because such proteins are more alkaline in nature, and they really help in getting the body alkaline too. And probably the world's one of the most alkaline food supplements is spirulina. So definitely recommend it to everyone who wants to start working on alkalizing their body. The history dates back of its use long time before around the 6th and 17th century and the 16th, 17th century. You look at some pictures that I'm sharing with you, show how it was processed, collected, dried up in the sun, processed. Now, the key of spirulina of good quality depends on not only where it is cultivated, but in how it is dried up, because that's the key. Now, proteins are very sensitive to heat, exactly like an egg. If you boil it in water, you get a boiled egg, and if you fry an egg, you break an egg on a hot plate, you get an omelette. Structurally, both after exposure of heat are different. So when you look at spirulina, when it is exposed to heat, it's the heat that decides the quality of spirulina. See, if you want to retain a good quality spirulina, you need to expose it to the minimum heat. Now, there are ways in which in the market there are many spirulina brands, but you need to find out how it is dried up. If it's dried up in the sun, it's of an uncertain quality, because sometimes the sun is really hot and sometimes it is mild. If it's dried up on a hot pan, you're actually burning up all the nutrients, and it's actually of no use of such a spirulina. But so, what's so special about DXN spirulina? One, it is grown or cultivated organically in an organic setting in Kedah, Malaysia, in its own farm. Second, the way it is dried up, it's actually, kind of a method in which I am not able to show you, but it's collected through a pipe and it's dropped down through a pipe where there is a hot air fan. This fan, it just releases hot air. In the process of drying, is through hot air, and with minimum heat that the spirulina is exposed to for the minimum time, the DXN spirulina retains almost 99% of its nutritional value, and hence even taking a capsule of DXN spirulina is worth taking 10 or 20 capsules of any other brand. That makes it really significant, and hence if you look at DXN spirulina, I think it is one of the most amazing nutritional support that can help you in many conditions. And here I have an Ayurveda theory that tells how a body is nourished, from the rasa, rakta, mausa, and med, and these are the different terms of Ayurveda. But the IMSAM study publication of worldwide consumption of spirulina states that spirulina has positive effect on anemia, especially the iron deficiency or hypochromic anemia. Then spirulina has been very effective in night blindness, and this has been actually proven in Pakistan when DXN supported one of the groups there of some night blind children, along with RTGL and spirulina, when they were given this as a supplement for a period of around 2 or 3 months. And after the ophthalmological check, they were all ruled out to be out of night blindness. And that's an amazing thing that proves how spirulina works on your eyesights and very good for your eyes. So if your children are actually having spectacles, or they should be given spirulina. Spirulina is also studied and found to be effective against different types of allergies and hives. And so for asthmatic people or skin allergic people, again a good choice. Very, very good for LDL cholesterol and triglycerides. So again boosts up the heart, and so cardiac people with cardiac problems should definitely take that. Malnutrition, weakness, again spirulina is good source of energy. People who consume it swear by it, because after they take it they realize they have had this extra energy to work better. Weight loss and weight gain, both are the reason of fat metabolism going wrong. It's like, to correct the fat metabolism is what spirulina does. So it helps both for weight gain as well as weight loss. Cancer prevention, being an alkaline food, rich in nutrients, it again makes the environment of the cells around alkaline, which then prevents the growth of cancer. Then fibromyalgia, hay fever, herpes infections. Again, most of the infections are acidic. So when you take a supplement of like spirulina, you're changing the environment alkaline. Again, it helps a lot in healing faster. Liver is an organ that has a very good effect of because of spirulina. So if you have people suffering from alcoholic liver cirrhosis or fatty liver or any liver condition, spirulina is again a good choice as a supplement. And as I said, it's amazing for the heart. Not only limited to this study, what I have observed over my 4 years of traveling across the globe, that spirulina has really helped a lot of people with joint pains. It has helped people improve their infertility cases. Just recently I had a case, somebody from Ivory Coast gave me a message. She was almost 40 and not having children, and just around a couple of weeks back they posted me that thank you DXN, now they are having a baby girl. So that's the power of supplements that can do that no medicine can do. And at last, when you build up a good system and your cells are all happy and they are fed well and taken care of well, your whole body actually, it's like the immune system goes higher up and you now attain a different level of understanding of yourself. So studies, as I said, when it comes up to dosage, don't worry. The more you take, the better it is. Remember the flamingos and the market where the spirulina was sold in kilograms. But for technical reasons and the studies that have been done, 1 to 8 grams per day has been shown to have some effect for cholesterol, for muscle performance, blood glucose control, blood pressure, fatty liver. Around 1 to 8 grams was this dose that they played along with in the studies. 1 gram is equivalent to 4 capsules, that's 250 milligrams. So accordingly, you can say 4 to 32 capsules a day is good enough for anyone, especially a normal adult. And when it comes to the children, you can divide that depending on the age of the child into half or 1/4 and give children accordingly. I'm sure in Sri Lanka you have this amazing cereal loaded with spirulina, and make it your supplement for your breakfast and other things. I'm sure it's a very good way to start your day. Okay, let's move on to the third amazing product that we have is called Morinzi, and it basically contains noni or Morinda citrifolia. Now Morinda citrifolia is a fruit, a tropical fruit from this tree that you see on screen, and Morinda citrifolia belongs to the coffee family, the Rubiaceae family. This tree has been around for 2,000 to 3,000 years as far as people can know, but I'm sure long before that too. And commonly known as Indian mulberry, scientifically Morinda citrifolia. It is believed to have been originated in the Southeast Asia, the area of the Polynesian, the French Polynesian islands. And to tell you how safe this fruit is, again, a picture of a bird called koel or cuckoo. This bird is now gulping the whole fruit of noni. So for people who are scared, how much morinzi I should take, remember this picture, never forget this picture, that even gulping the whole fruit has not caused any harm to the bird. She loved it, she enjoyed it. Okay, and here's another picture to show you, and I have a few more. Look at the birds enjoying on the fruit. This is a hornbill that is gulping down noni fruit. A parrot waiting to take its bite on this fruit. A squirrel, so not limited to birds, even animals love noni, not because it's very tasty and yummy. Actually it doesn't taste so sweet or yummy. It's got a little bitterish taste, very slimy, sticky, called as the cheese fruit, is also called as the cheese fruit. Okay, the whole tree, as it's called as the magic tree, is used in medicine. Like leaves were used to relieve cough, nausea, colic problems, tuberculosis and rheumatism and many other things. Fruit is what majorly what we are concerned about, is because it helps in reducing your back pain, your asthma, your dysentery. It was used in the Hawaii for your head lice, and then for broken bones. So again, wherever it's healing is required, scabs, your sore throat, your peeling of your cracking toes and feet, cuts, wounds, abscesses, very amazing on your skin. It was used in every kind of healing, so again, very, very effective on your GI system, gastrointestinal system, and an amazing effect is found on your heart. So you're very good for hypertension, as well as hypotension, where your cardiac functions have been affected. Now, this fruit juice can also help in regulate menstrual problems, menstrual flow. It also has amazing effect on urinary tract problems. Now, that's where we are going to go now. Here is this fruit that you see on screen. Zeronine is a relatively small alkaloid which is physiologically very active and important for the proper functioning of all the cells in the body. And Dr. Henneke, who is also called as the father of noni, who actually discovered the amazing benefits of noni juice, said that this zeronine, which is so important for our body cells, the precursor, that is something that can form zeronine, the precursor, that's prozeronine, is found in appreciable amounts in the noni fruit. And this actually triggered the world interest in this noni fruit, because now when you take a fruit juice of noni, of morinzi, like morinzi, when you take it, you're actually providing your body with prozeronine. Now this prozeronine is absorbed in your intestine and taken to the liver, where it is then converted to zeronine, and it is stored in your cells, liver cells, so that when you require any repair mechanism in your body, whenever there is inflammation, wherever there is any damage in the tissue cells, wherever there is healing required, the liver secretes the zeronine so that the healing then begins. So again, consuming it every day is like providing enough storage in your liver so that it can help you. So zeronine, as we say, it's the kind of a mason, or the one that builds up your broken cells into order again. Noni has also been found to be helpful in breaking addictions. So if you have a craving for sugar, caffeine, cocaine, nicotine, you're a smoker, you're drunk, so taking morinzi every day will actually, within a period of time, help you to ward off, or you take away your addiction, and you'll never realize you have stopped those harmful addictions that you had. Noni also promotes a lot of massive cellular regeneration. As I said, it repairs, so it can help in cellular regeneration and bring about hormonal balance in your body. And that is why it is one of the most amazing things that you can take every day. It's rich in vitamin A, C, E, B, B2, B6 and B12, rich again in calcium, iron, niacin, folic acid, pantothenic acid, phosphorus, magnesium, zinc, copper. It's also rich in 140 plus isolated nutraceuticals including chromium, manganese, molybdenum, sodium, potassium, etc. So yeah, you see it's a superstore of nutrients. And it's, as I said, it's a tropical fruit, so the tree bears these fruits probably a couple of times in a year. And when the fruits are ripened, the people, even today, they collect these fruits and they crush it. These fruits are then crushed, and the juice is taken out and stored in bottles so that you can consume it all year round. Now, this is the way it had been done from centuries, now. But what we believe is that today we are able to provide the same juice in the form of a bottled drink like Morinzi. So who should take it, and how can Morinzi help me? So it's a very good on a natural painkiller, analgesic. So if you have any body pain like headache, joint pain, along with other medicines that you are taking, I think you should switch on to a natural painkiller like Morinzi. It is an immune system booster. It triggers up the immune system, because remember we said the police and the army, so when they go through the wear and tear, you need somebody to repair them too. And that's where Morinzi acts like the immune system booster, repairing the cells that have been damaged during the conflict with a bacteria or virus, and regaining the immunity and back. Now for children, we in Ayurveda believe we have two brains. One is inside the skull, the other is here in the gut. And most of the time the children have their developmental issues when the gut is a problem, especially conditions like autism, and they trigger from the gut problem. Morinzi or Noni is very effective in children, especially as an anti-helminthic that will help in fighting the worms that the children are most prone to be affected with, and maintaining the health of the and flora of the gut. So if you have a child in your house, please be sure to give him at least 10 to 20 ml of Morinzi juice twice every day. It's really, really effective, trust me. And you'll see your child meeting milestones of development naturally. Morinzi is very good as an antidepressant or sedative. It helps you sleep better, relax better, and that's again one of the, if you're on any, you have sleeping problems like insomnia, one of the supplements that you should switch on is Morinzi, because of its amazing repairing ability of cells. It is very good for your skin and hair. So any complaints with those, go back to Morinzi. Morinzi has been found to be very effective as an adjuvant supplement for cancer patients. Okay, as I said, for heart patients, the people suffering with cardiac problems like hypertension, it's a boon, it's a blessing to take Morinzi. It also helps in fighting cholesterol and triglyceride levels, just like you can see spirulina. Spirulina does it with the action of its alkaline nature, while Morinzi does it because it has the ability to repair those injuries. Most of these clots happen because of micro injuries inside your blood vessels. So there are a lot of studies, on Morinda citrifolia also. But here I wanted to show you the effect of Morinda citrifolia fruit juice on high-fat diet-induced dyslipidemia in rats. So again, a proof of how it helps even fight fat at that level inside your blood. So very, very effective. Builds up your memory, so helps you forget less. This is a special sign that it prevents damaging of the neural cells and brain cells, and that's when you can now have better memory. A blessing again in disguise for people suffering with IBS or irritable bowel syndrome. Please note that Morinzi's amazing benefits are seen on the GI system and the urinary system and the uterus. So this is where you can definitely suggest anyone who suffers from IBS to take Morinzi. ADHD. This is a very common problem nowadays. You know, as a psychotherapist, I encounter a lot of parents who are telling their children have these problems: inattention, impulsivity, and hyperactivity. They are signs of ADHD. And again, Morinzi becomes your choice. Give the child Morinzi every day. You see, nutritionally, when the child is well, they will actually have a lot of benefit in terms of their behavior too. Addiction, as we just discussed, you know, that Noni or Morinzi can help to fight addiction. So if you know anybody or yourself are addicted to something, please switch on to Morinzi. It will help you combat this addiction. Allergies, it can help you fight allergies, build up your immune system, okay? And joint pains, any type of arthritis, it's been used from centuries in these cases of arthritis and joint pains. So definitely recommended for people suffering from that. Asthma is a common problem nowadays because of the problems with pollution and everything. So please, if you know somebody who has asthma, you can, especially children, give them Morinzi. Chronic fatigue syndrome. I think so. The most fast developed condition in the recent times is chronic fatigue syndrome. We are feeling ourselves drained out, just like the batteries of our cell phones that drain faster than required. We are actually draining up faster. And to fight this chronic fatigue syndrome, I'm sure Morinzi is the choice of supplement or in form of a beverage that you can take. Diabetes, it's one of the conditions that has engulfed the whole world. And again, a lot of positive effects of people who have been on Morinzi and has seen a positive results in diabetes, with diabetes reversal, as well as the complications of diabetes being slowed down or reversed. UTI, urinary tract infections. Morinzi again is very, very effective in urinary tract infections, especially for those women who are often having this complaint of urinary tract infections. Endometriosis is like, you know, the whole uterus gets inflamed, and like you have gastritis, or this is the inflammatory condition of the inner wall of the uterus of the females, you know. And again, as an anti-inflammatory, it's very effective for women suffering from this condition. What's a good dose? For a normal adult, 20 to 30 ml dose 2 to 3 times with water is amazing. You can take it, but depending on your condition, you probably need to take a little more or less, depending on what you think your condition is. You can have it in combination for different things. Like if you want to tackle obesity, we have an amazing product called Myco Veggie, which I'll talk about later. Along with Myco Veggie, 1 scoop and 1 cup of water, when you add Morinzi, you can help to tackle obesity. When you have GI complaints, the gastrointestinal complaints, along with black cumin, another product of DXN, with Morinzi, you can tackle that. And we have another amazing beverage called Roselle, which probably I don't think in Sri Lanka you have, but yes, with Morinzi, you can take it and you can have a good effect on your cardiac complaints. So you see, Morinzi becomes like a catalyst for other supplements, and when you take it with RGGL, and so it helps again in detoxification much better. So yeah, let's talk about Myco Veggie, because I just showed you Myco Veggie. Myco Veggie is very, very good for cleaning up your colon, and so I call it one of the best supplements. Yes?
The Myco is not available in Sri Lanka.
Okay, okay, then I move on. Thank you so much. Okay. I move on. Okay, give me 1 minute. Okay. I'm so. Okay, give me 1 minute. So, Myco Veggie is not available. Fine, nobody, but no problems. Okay, we go to this one. Now, coffee seeds, you know, it's called as the wine of the Islamic people, you know. Islam consider this as an amazing beverage to drink every day, because it could actually give you the realization of yourself. And if you look at coffee, coffee has amazing health benefits. Caffeine, as you say, is acidic, but it has amazing effect. It calms down your system, it helps your heart, it's very good in burning your fat. But caffeine alone, if it doesn't go out of your system, if it's just taken every day in plain coffee form, will over time become addictive, will cause acidic symptoms also. So what would be the right combination? When you take this particular coffee along with something called Ganoderma added to it. Now what are you doing? You're adding coffee and you're getting the benefits of coffee along with Ganoderma, which has got a good diuretic effect, which is like an alkalizer, which flushes toxins out. So once caffeine has done its job of making you feel good and better, because of the added Ganoderma, caffeine has to see that it goes out of your system. So you will see that when you take a DXN coffee, which has Ganoderma in it, it actually becomes a cleansing coffee, a detoxifying coffee, a diuretic coffee. And hence, only a coffee also can show you amazing health benefits. And that's what has been testified across the globe. And I definitely would recommend people to switch on to this as a beverage of choice every day. We know coffee is rich in antioxidants, and so is Ganoderma. Okay, so that's one benefit of coffee, and I'm sure in DXN you have 2-in-1 and 3-in-1 coffees available in Sri Lanka, and I think you should be sipping onto it as often as you can. Really, really very good for your health. When it comes up to cocoa, and when you have cocoa, cocoa is rich in antioxidants, very good for the children. Almost all the minerals you'll find in it, you know. And again, only having that, but if it is catalyzed with another herb like Ganoderma into it, you're actually adding more value to it. And you'll see that the nutritional value of this cocoa can reach every cell, which is very difficult if your systems are blocked. We just studied how Ganoderma opens up the channel. So the best nutrition from the cocoa reaches every cell. And when you take the combination of cocoa with Ganoderma, you find that the whole developmental process, the energy, the vitality, all going up, and you're feeling much better. And that's why it's a very good choice for children. You know, take them off any market chocolate drinks and all those things. Give them something that we have in DXN called Cocoa Z, because Cocoa Z will actually see that your children get their nutritional value as well as they meet their milestones of development, and their gut is also healthy. So again, a very, very good product of choice that you can suggest to your people. DXN is nothing but amazing products in the list. We have, I think so, more than 100, 120 products. But yes, Sri Lanka is having a few products now, but I'm sure very soon many products will join the race in Sri Lanka too. They will be available. But the idea here is to change your lifestyle. Move from what you're living if you want to have a healthy lifestyle. And when you talk about lifestyle, we cannot miss this particular personal care market. It's a huge opportunity for everyone who even thinks about making business as a, DXN as a career in business. Do you have soap in,
Yeah.
do you have soap there, Dr. Marie?
Yeah.
Okay, see, so again, Ganazi soap is such an amazing soap, loaded with palm oil and Ganoderma. This does not rob your skin of its oil. It actually replenishes the skin of the lost oil. And that is amazing, because when you look at the skin, as we said, skin is an organ that feeds and excretes too. When it excretes sweat, and sweat is nothing but acidic fluid. And this fluid becomes then the basis on which a lot of bacteria, especially fungus, they harbor themselves. So when you see, when your body starts to be oiled up and cleaned, you have no skin problems, and your aging process also of the skin, wrinkling, this slows down. this Ganazi soap is really amazing, and it is one of those soaps that should replace your commercial very cheap soaps that have chemicals in it, because they rob you of your body oil, the very precious body oil. Now when you look at the toothpaste, do we have the toothpaste there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. So Ganazi toothpaste is again, okay, very good. Now again, why I'm emphasizing on these two products, because these two products we use every day. We never think that a soap is so important to be changed, but yes, trust me, you change your soap and you change many things inside your body, right? Second, you change your toothpaste and you change the whole oral cavity health. When it comes up to Ganazi toothpaste, because of the combination of Ganoderma and the mint oil in it, it becomes one of those amazing paste that can actually become like a healing thing within the oral cavity. Ganoderma has been, especially in the form of Ganazi toothpaste, has been found to be very effective in fighting fungal infections like Candida albicans. And there was a study done by Indian doctors, Dr. Arti Nayak and Ranganath Nayak, and their paper was also published in the Journal of International Oral Health. They have actually used this toothpaste for the study, and this you can Google around and you can find that. Again, an amazing testimonial of the efficacy of this toothpaste. And I was in Sudan, and in Sudan, Ganazi toothpaste is one of the hottest selling products. If the container of this Ganazi toothpaste comes within few days, it's just over. The people use it for everything, from not only for toothpaste, but sometimes they use it as an external application to fight a lot of skin complaints like fungal conditions. If there is a cut and injury, just to use it as an antiseptic. But to make it simple, it's safe. And even giving your children, those chemically derived toothpaste and damaging their oral cavity, especially the teeth, which really get damaged because of the high toxic chemicals that they have and get eroded, we need to switch on to something like Ganazi. And one who has actually started brushing his teeth with Ganazi never ever can go back to any other toothpaste, for sure. Okay, so definitely very good. I'm not sure if you have oil, but yes, Gano oil is one of the amazing products also we have in DXN, and a range of coffees that we just discussed. So DXN is nothing but a lifestyle modification company with such amazing products. We have a series of food supplement series, we have the beverage series, we have the personal care series, the skin and cosmetic series. I'm just showing you, so that the reason I'm showing you all these is because if you are a distributor of DXN, and if you have limited products in Sri Lanka, it does not limit you for the knowledge of the products DXN has, because with that membership you have a global distribution right. And because with the concept of one world, one market, you can actually recommend products across the globe to anyone. And there is a list of products. So when you get time, you definitely can study more about them. There is a huge range, Okay, yeah. So before I sum up my session, I just want to add a little philosophy that I learned through Ayurveda. And I'm sure Ayurveda is very famous and popular in Sri Lanka. In this philosophy, it was said that for a good crop, there are 4 things very essential. One is a good soil. Then is the good seed. Third is good water. And fourth is good climate. When these 4, the land, the seed, the water, and the climate are all good, we have a very good crop. And we all understand this. Now similarly, we have to see the simile between land. Land is nothing but woman, where the man, who is the seed, sows his seed. So the health of a woman is very crucial and important, and so is the health of the man. this is also significant with what you eat. So nutrition plays a very important role. And the monthly cycles, that's menstruation cycles of a woman. When all these four are healthy and good, we definitely can give back to the world a very healthy future generation, which is disease-free, with this ability to fight infections and diseases that are just on a rise, and so many more that science is yet to tackle. We can actually build our children preventatively so strong that they don't suffer from any of these diseases. And it all goes back to the simple concept of good nutrition and good detoxification. So for people who have never yet started on DXN, I suggest to go on a health and fitness program for the next 2 to 3 months. And you know what is going to happen when you go on the DXN product lifestyle? You're going to have changes in 5 levels. Basically, you will see that you will sleep better. And that is very important, because that's the resting phase, is when your body repairs itself. And it's like you're climbing out of the mountain, and every time 10 minutes you take a little rest, you can run faster the next time. Similarly, every sleep makes you stronger the next time, more alert the next time. So when you take DXN products, you'll see you will sleep better. Appetite. Most of the appetites are triggered because of nutritional deficiency. We tend to eat a lot, and there are a lot of cravings for food when there is deficiency. But when you have a good supplement range going inside your body, you will realize that your appetites become optimal, not too much, not too less, and you will start gaining the right diet for yourself. Third is your energy levels. You'll see a significant change in your energy levels. The ones that were hyperactive, struggling, they will start to calm down, and the ones who are lethargic will get the energy to move on. And that's what DXN products can do to your health within. Fourth is your cleaning, as we just saw. It will see that your body is cleaned well. And as we say, the physical cleansing is the basis on which the mental cleansing also sets up. And when the body gets clean, the mind finds an open channel through which it can experience life much better. And that's probably where the spiritual realization happens. And if you look at it, and that's where I see the significance of Ganoderma, known as the spiritual herb, and taken as a herb for immortality, is when it made you believe that you're not the body that ends. You're the soul that actually is here to experience. And the whole realization that the mind does to you in the process is only when you're set free of the diseases that the body goes through. And that's where Ganoderma becomes your choice for you to realize who you are. And that's where the final thing is clarity of vision and clarity of thought. And you suddenly see yourself seeing the world in a very different way. You start harboring so many qualities in terms of behavioral changes that you'll see and notice. And it is said that to identify a man who takes Rishi every day is very easy. Just watch how he behaves and you'll know if he's really taking Rishi. And so I suggest, taking a short 2 or 3 months of real good supplements of DXN, especially Ganoderma, will see a lot of change within you and your family. Before I end the session, I would like to share some pictures which show that only significant things were always wanted to be passed down in form of art, so that people in generations next could understand the importance of it. And here you see a painting, the Oriental painting, and what you see the lady holding in hand is the Ganoderma mushroom. And this shows how significant it was. There's another picture you see on screen on the left side. In the center of the whole thing is where Ganoderma has been depicted. Now, that definitely shows some significance to this most revered and amazing, miraculous mushroom. Okay, and here you see Shen Nong, the person, the founder of the pharmacopoeia, the Chinese pharmacopoeia, holding the Ganoderma in his hand. The reason I'm showing you these pictures is to just endorse you that culture passed it on in form of art to us, so that we realize how important it is. Here the left side is a very famous painting of a bird sitting on a tree that is almost half dead, on which there is Ganoderma. This signifies the body that deteriorates with time, and till the time the bird, that signifies the soul, sits on it, and if it's Ganoderma there, you can experience yourself, and when it moves on, you go on again and you become immortal. The whole realization of that. So here another picture, but the fact that these pictures depict of how important this mushroom was, and now through DXN it's becoming popular and we are able to provide to everyone. Like this Shanqian emperor, the Chinese emperor, holding the Ganoderma in his left hand to consume it as Ganoderma tea. So, and I was lucky to visit the farm to see the whole process, because my whole quest and journey to find more about this mushroom led me to be a part of DXN and to help promote its real wellness to the people. And I'm fortunate to be spending some time to learn more about the art in which you can use Ganoderma through Dr. Lim. Dr. Lim, who I call him the father of Ganotherapy. It is the term that he coined, where you use Ganoderma as a detoxifier in every condition. Along with it, you use other supplements to heal people. So Ganoderma becomes the primary carrier, and the other herbs become the secondary functional supplements through which you can heal any condition. And on the left of the screen you see, on the right of the screen you see Mr. Jijit, through which we travel to Europe, educate the Europeans about it. And I'm sure, the way the whole DXN family is now increasing, DXN Sri Lanka can also see a huge potential in changing the lives of people. And the secret is through our ancient concepts of Ayurveda that we are blessed with, the science that we are blessed with, and the secret of immortality through a mushroom, very popularly known as Rishi. And Rishi in Indian Sanskrit word or Hindi is known as the one, as the saint, or the one who seeks himself, or the divine spirit. And that's where I am very grateful for you all in DXN Sri Lanka to give me an opportunity to share my views on this amazing mushroom called Rishi, Ganoderma lucidum, or Lingzi. Thank you so much, and see you soon.
Thank you very much, doctor. Thank you very much, doctor.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and
yes, thank you.
Give us 5 minutes for question and answer. Do you have any questions?
Sure. Sure.
Any questions?
Yes, I am one of the diabetes person.
Okay.
So how these capsules and tablets supporting me?
Okay, there is a question. He's a diabetic patient,
okay.
And he's
okay.
a diabetic patient. He wanted to know how he can use, or how our products are going to support his complaint.
Sure. Diabetes is basically a metabolic condition in which one of your organs is not producing the ingredients for the digestion of glucose. If I have to explain it, when you take Ganoderma, the environment around the cell, which has become acidic because of the sugar accumulation around the cells, which the cells is not able to feed on or utilize, when you take Ganoderma, you're actually cleaning up the excess sugars from your system, with a process of continuation of around 3 to 6 months, or probably even more, because diabetes is a little tough to get through. But if you watch your diet, you take RG, that's Rishi Gano, GL, that's Ganocelium. These at least start with 4 to 6 pairs every day, twice or thrice a day, and spirulina to provide the nutritional support for the body, because it's very important that the body gets the nutritional support. When you do this along with Morinzi that is available there, with these 3 primary products, you will see a drastic change in the condition of your diabetes, because diabetes can be reversed with a lifestyle change for sure.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other questions?
Regarding the upsales in the original
picture of the saying about three items were mentioned there. Sugar was there, bread and maybe a meat or something.
So
does bread and sugar also contribute for toxins?
So they're asking about the toxins.
Okay.
So you were mentioned there were three products as the toxins. One is
Sugar.
sugar
Bread was
and the bread and the rice, I think. So
Okay.
chicken. So it's a chicken piece, I think. So they're asking how that is also becoming toxins.
Now, when you say meat, especially red meat, when it is not digested properly, when I say digested means if you're suffering from constipation and meat remains in your system, in your colon for a longer period of time, it actually starts to decay because the bacteria there will start working on it. And if you look at it, that becomes one of the reasons that your body is supplied with toxins. So whenever you take meat, I always suggest that you take it with a lot of fiber along. Because if you lack fiber and take only meat and you have a condition where of constipation, you're harming yourself more than benefiting. So meat is good. Meat is good. I'm saying meat is not, see here again that slide. The meat is good. The only thing is if you don't have a clean system, that meat is very not good. So it becomes more acidic.
how the bread consumption of bread exhaust toxins?
So they're asking about the bread also.
Bread. Oh, bread is gluten rich. Bread is absolutely no. If you want to heal yourself, I think you should be off. We Indians or Sri Lankans or Chinese or Asian people were never a bread eating nation. We were always a rice eating nation. Bread is very dry. It's the word wheat itself has a hidden word heat in it. It's a cause of many acidic complaints. Bread is the reason where you have constipation. So I definitely am not a person who advocates bread as one of the diet things, So definitely no for that.
One minute, doctor. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah, you tell me. What is that? What's it called? Cholesterol system. Okay. Cholesterol system was done.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, he sees a cholecystectomy done for this patient, and she got CA. So it was after the surgery, it came down for 1.9 and it went up to 3.23. And doctor said
Okay,
it's normal. Doctor said it's normal. So she's asking what are the products, and she's also afraid of a heart. She's also having some complaint of heart.
Okay, what went up? Can you give me the lab value again?
CA, it was 1 point. This is a cancer antigen. So CA125. 1.9.
Again, see.
Up to,
Uh-huh.
after the treatment, it went up to 3.23 now, last time. The doctor was saying it's normal. I think it's normal.
See, when lab values change, there is definitely a metabolic change in your body. When you go through surgery, when you take some medicines, you're actually triggering a metabolic change in your body. This fluctuates a lot of lab values. In such a case, as I said, the basic thing, remember, is getting your body as alkaline as possible and as soon as possible. and that again depends on the diet that you go on. Second, so I'm giving first preference to diet. Second is the supplements. So here for you with a cardiac issue also, I think RGGL becomes a primary one because we need the cleanse first. Second becomes spirulina, and the third becomes morinzi again. So you have all these three as the three pillars on which you can start taking and seeing a change in your system.
Okay. Hello.
Yes.
Sir, we have one more questions. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Our member just wants to know your journey in DXN.
Okay. Now, my journey in DXN, around 4 years back, I was in my clinic, and I had a weird clinic where I used to not see people who were diseased. I used to see people who wanted to be free of disease. So, when it was an odd clinic in Pune, so somebody happened to come down with this whole concept of DXN to me with a mushroom. And being a physician of Ayurveda, where we study so many other herbs, the first thing what you do is you deny such a thing, that one mushroom can do everything. And so naturally I did not accept all that. I thought it's just another fad of somebody giving too much information. But for a second I thought to myself, that when I went to Ayurveda, before I actually studied Ayurveda, I never believed it. But after 5 years of studying Ayurveda, I started believing it. So belief comes only when you try something out or experience something. So I changed my mind and I said, rather than disregarding this, I regard this as something what is true. And let me go on a journey to find out whether it has any meaning. And being a health professional, I took up this journey as an educator, and I started to talk about it. And now my passion is to educate people on wellness. And one of the you can say supplement companies that I really vouch for and talk for is DXN, because I believe in this mushroom having amazing healing benefits, and probably it has the secret to the oriental soma, the juice of the gods, so that's my interest that basically triggered, and that's how I started to travel with DXN. Now I am on the like the consultant panel of DXN Ayurveda that we are launching in future. Range of Ayurveda products also that will follow in future. So I'm working in close association with Dr. Lim and trying to educate people on the DXN products, making it more simpler so that everybody can understand it and take it. That's my journey.
Okay, thank you, doctor. And one of the customer was asking, recommend for a patient with multiple myeloma.
Okay, yeah. Now, again, when you say myeloma, that means it's already a spread and multiple myeloma. So what I would suggest again is this condition is not in its chronic stage, but in a critical stage. I would definitely put this person on 3 to 6 months of heavy dose of RGGL, spirulina, morinzi, and very, very important. Now, going to the principles of Ayurveda, when we do a cleanse, when we have to clean the body of the toxins, of the doshas, we first need to do purva karma. That is the primary setup, and that is through oleation or oil, application of oil, internally as well as externally. So internally, I would definitely give this person ghee, that is clarified butter, or virgin coconut oil, to be taken at least 3 to 4 teaspoon internally in a day. Plus externally, I would apply sesame oil or olive oil, all these oils of ghee on the body, so that the body is prepared to release its toxins. Now, most of these toxins are fat soluble, not water soluble. So when you apply oil and fat, they are actually eliminated more out of your gut. And that's why in such a case like cancer, I would do first preparation by oil, and second giving heavy dose of supplements like RGGL, spirulina, and morinzi.
You are recommending a ganoderma mega dose?
Yes, mega dose. See, when you know what is cancer, understand cancer is when things have gone wrong genetically within the genes. Now, when you give mild doses, it's superficial. You're just changing the environment. But when you give a heavy dose, you're actually causing a turbulence within the system. And when you cause that turbulence within the system, repeated turbulence, the good turbulence, will actually change the cell's behavior over time. So again, you know, as we have triggered the change to misbehave, we have to trigger the change for the cells to behave good again.
Okay, doctor, thank you. And what was the last question? What was it?
What is it for the normal coffee and DXN coffee?
So he's asking the difference between the normal coffee and the DXN coffee.
Normal coffee is coffee with caffeine, which is good, not bad, but the problem is caffeine remains in your system. And then over time it becomes addictive, it's acidic. When you say DXN coffee is normal coffee with Ganoderma. When you add Ganoderma, you're adding a substance which is a diuretic, which causes urine. So you get the benefits of the coffee. I'm not saying you don't get the benefits of a coffee in the plain coffee. You get the benefits of the coffee in the plain coffee as well as DXN coffee. But with Ganoderma, the caffeine, that is the active ingredient of the coffee, finds its way out of the body as soon as its job is done. That means this same coffee becomes a non-addictive coffee. It becomes an alkaline coffee. And because it is alkaline, it actually sets up the healing tone and it starts healing your body.
And on the stomach, the red color one, they show.
Yeah, he was talking about the Morinzi syrup. He was asking about you were talking about UTI, urine tract infection.
Yes, yes.
Morinzi.
Yeah, Morinzi is very good for urinary tract infections. Combine it with RGGL, you will have much better benefits. If you have acidic complaints, then like acidity, or you have burning micturition and all those complaints, then also you can add spirulina. Go 3. But Morinzi is primary, then go with RGGL, and then with more, if you have severe complaints, also add spirulina.
Okay, sir, we have one more questions. What is the DXN treatment?
Sure.
Mental illness.
Mental illness?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, probably, one of the wonder supplements that we have here is Rishi. As I was discussing in my presentation, probably one of the, magical, you can say, supplements is Rishi, which can change the mind. So as I said, you can identify a person who is taking Rishi because on the way he moves and talks and behaves. So Rishi is very good for triggering a mental change for people suffering from mental illness. Now, if this mental illness is long-standing, then you need to find out what was the trigger. If it was stress, strain, then we need to handle it along with it, with a little massages and all those things. If it was an infection or some medical reasons that actually triggered out, then you have to add supplements. And if it was a gut problem like mental illnesses like autism, then you need to also go along with the gut cleansing. So identifying the trait and then giving Rishi along with other supplements, you can actually, and I mean it, actually see a positive change even in mental illness.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful training session.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and I hope in future we will keep disturbing you for this kind of a training
Sure,
session.
sure.
Okay.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Munir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. See you soon. And best of luck for DXN Sri Lanka.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. हमारा भी हमारा सिंगल वाली क्वेश्चन है हुआ